Good evening, everyone. I will call to order the April 3rd meeting of the Wilton Town Board. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Supervisor Johnson?
Here.
Councilman Lant?
Here.
Councilwoman Klepetar? Here. Deputy Supervisor Stryker?
Here.
Councilman McEachran?
Here. Okay, this is the part of the meeting that we have for public comment. We have a couple of people signed. Oh, just one. Connie Towers. Come join us up here.
Okay. Connie Towers, 92 Ernst Road. But today I'm here as Vice President of the Wilton Food Pantry, representing the folks in our town who live in food insecure households. And our third annual Empty Bowls fundraiser, you might see on the door. And in fact, all of you were here, attended last year, which is great to see. Is April 13th, Sunday, 1 to 4 at the Saratoga Wilton Elks Lodge. And they are gracious enough to give us the space for free. If you're not familiar with it, it is called Empty Bowls. Skidmore Dining and Skidmore Ceramic Arts students are so involved with this. It's wonderful. They handcraft the bowls. You get a ticket for either $20 or $25. And with that, you get a serving of soup or chili, or soup and chili actually, bread rolls, and water as a reminder of those in our town who are facing some tough times. And it's only gotten worse with the heating bills this year and everything else, health issues, etc. So it takes a whole community to do this, to raise these funds. It's our biggest fundraiser. We're all volunteer. It's kind of a threefold process. We sell tickets, we sell sponsorships, and we get auction items from area businesses and local organizations, and it's just wonderful. The Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts come, the elderly, and everybody just digs in, and last year we raised $15,182 net, and we sold 300 tickets. So we're shooting for a little bit higher than that this year. It's a little bit tougher because it's the week before, the Sunday before Easter. But with your help, if you know of anyone that would like to donate, sponsor, I have a couple forms with me. I can leave them at the back table. And there's great music. And you get to meet those in your community that you might not even know. And for some of you that are kind of sick of this terrible weather that we've had for so long, winter weather, we've got some vacation homes donated to us this year that you can bid on. 10 nights in Italy, 10 nights in the Galapagos Islands in Ecuador, 7 nights in Kissimmee, Florida, and 7 nights in Honolulu. So there's some really good incentives there. If you're, you've been just so tired of this weather, there's some good things like that to get on. Some spring items, grill, lots of fun. So I just appreciate the time today, and we hope to see you there on April 13th. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Connie. Thank you, Connie. And Wilton Food Pantry and their board does a great job. And this is, I think, probably your biggest fundraiser, Connie, isn't it? It is. So I encourage everybody that can get out to go to the event. It's a great event, well attended, and certainly goes to a great cause and helps the needy here in Wilton. Okay, the first item of business is we have the minutes pending from our March meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll put forth the motion to approve March 2014's pending minutes.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion and a second. Any discussion on the minutes, changes, amendments? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? So moved. Thank you. Next, we have some folks here from Carter Farm Road that wants to talk about, actually, their road. I think Joe Chartel is going to be their spokesman.
Good evening, Joe Chartrand, 5 Carter Farm Road. Been here in the town of Wilton since 1996, moved to Carter Farm Road in 2001. Our road, as the 12 houses on the road, is deteriorating. It's been deteriorating now for at least 5 years. It's a road that you cannot drive down more than 5 miles per hour without your car actually bottoming out. I mean, there's potholes, and I understand this winter's been a bad winter for everybody's road, but our road is especially bad, and it's been bad for at least 5 years now. And every winter, of course, is bad. Obviously, within the next month or two, as it heats up a little bit, it may smooth out again, but we are losing lots of macadam. It's just deteriorating underneath. You can't drive on a road. You certainly can't walk on a road because there's so many big potholes. I also understand that we're not on the agenda to have this road repaired this year, but anybody who's driven down the road, it needs serious repair. It doesn't just need a blacktop. It needs to be totally probably ripped up and redone from the start. Now, Carter Farm Road, a lot of wetlands through Carter Farm Road. I'm sure that's probably part of the problem with our road. There's swamps in and around there. Everybody who knows, who's been down Carter Farm Road is very wet. So just a couple questions. This road was probably put in back in 1998, thereabouts, when these houses were all new being built. At the time when the road was put in, who's responsible for that road? Is that a Wilton?
Developer.
So it's the developer.
Yeah, I don't know who that was. That Klein was it?
Well, yeah, and that's going to bring us to the biggest issue we're going to have here, as it was C.J. Lang who put the road in. All right. Now, anybody who's had a house built on Carter Farm Road, we've all had issues with these homes. So, who's responsible as these houses and this road is being put in? Is the town responsible to actually see that it's being done properly from the get-go?
Well, you may want to answer, but we are required to inspect the roads, but you may want to answer that, and also Kirk may have some thoughts too, so.
Yeah, when the road is constructed, we go out, we would do the inspection on the road, as the developer is constructing, a new road.
Right.
And, we go through, make sure the compaction tests are there, everything's done according to the town standards.
Okay.
And then the town takes over the ownership.
All right. And you think that was probably done? Because let's face it, back in 98, 99, when this road was being put in, the town of Wilton, as we all know, was under a huge housing boom. And I know there wasn't enough inspectors even who inspect these homes as they were being built, because I had many issues with my house that were never picked up on by the home inspectors here in Wilton. And I continue to have issues. So and I'm dealing with those on my own. It's my house, I understand that. But now this road belongs to the town of Wilton. Now, if we were a little bit lax, the town of Wilton, making sure this road was done properly, like I have to repair my home, I think it's got to come back on the town of Wilton, of course, to fix the road properly. Now,
once we accept the roads, it's our responsibility once they
right. And I'm just, again, I'm not here to point fingers at how the road was constructed, but my driveway is beginning to sink already after 13 or 14 years. So my guess is the builder probably didn't put enough crushed stone underneath the pavement. So I just think the road itself was done, I want to say shoddy, probably not up to all the specs that needs to be done. But anyhow, the road needs to be repaired. The bottom line is the road needs to be repaired. Now I understand that we're not on the list to have this repaired this year. There's about 15 or 18 streets that are going to be repaired. Is there a way we can get a copy of that list? Just how does the town of Wilton decide which roads need to be fixed and don't need to be fixed?
The highway superintendent is responsible for the roads, and he at budget time, submits, he has a schedule of roads, and it's basically, over time, after so many years, the road is scheduled to be repaired, and he has a schedule, and he submits that schedule, and he has a plan for, for this year.
It's more of a time when the road is put down. You got to come down our street. I mean, it's unpassable. I mean, it's got to be one of the worst roads in Wilton. Now, I know there's only 12 houses on there. We don't have the big spokes. We don't have, I know Hearthstone was repaired last year. Hearthstone was a nice road compared to Tire Farm Road. I mean, there was very little done wrong with Hearthstone, but if we're looking at a time frame, 20 years or whatever the road is, this road is not going to last 20 years. This road is not going to last another 6 months. I mean, it's just awful, And again, we've all had bad issues this year, I know with the heaving and the bad winter, but it's really, you can't drive down the street more than 5 miles per hour. And you can probably talk to your plow guys, I mean, they come down the street, I swear that they're dropping parts off their truck when they come down our street because of the way the things are jumping up and down. So, it really needs to be addressed. So we hope he can at least send somebody down the street. Maybe he's been down the street already. I would also like, if I can, if it's public, and I would love to get a copy of the streets that are on the agenda for repair this year, because I would like to maybe even drive them myself to see how they compare. It shouldn't be a time thing. It should be, drive down the street. It needs to be fixed. There's no question it needs to be fixed.
I personally drove down the road just to take a look and see, because I wanted to be prepared to take a look. And as you drive down the street, halfway down, the road starts going up and over. And it was, you had to drive 2-3 miles an hour, so you didn't.
Exactly.
And so I know, definitely see there's the need. Yeah. I'm hoping that we can, discuss it, and if it needs to be done sooner than the scheduled time, it might be something we have to look into.
If it's a time frame, they're going to last time. And again, I don't want to go back and point at the builder, but based on some of the construction that was done with these homes, I'm half assuming that the road construction, when we first put this road in, was probably not done to maybe the utmost standard that it should have been done to, based on the way the homes were constructed.
Just a couple of comments. I think, the standards may have changed since then, but I would, we're pretty careful about the road inspections that they're done and installed properly, and I think maybe over time the standards may have changed, and that road may have been built under before we changed to a higher standard of road. This year, as you had mentioned, the winter has really taken a toll on many roads, and I drove down your road as well, and I know all the heaves, and there've been lots of complaints this year. Where I live in Indian Springs, Santee, and Tambera, it's the same thing, if not worse. I mean, it's very bumpy. There's areas over in Furlong Hills, so you guys are not alone.
No, I know, but you look at it. Don't just drive it. The next time you come down our street, actually get out and look at it, because even when this resettles again, when the ground thaws and it resettles out again, there are cracks, and they're not cracks, there's holes. I mean, it's just deteriorating. It's been bad for several years now, but it's really bad this year. So.
Yeah, we do. We talked about the schedule, and there is a schedule, and there's a planned paving schedule for this year. But the highway superintendent does a great job, and if he gets that done sooner and we still have paving season left, we'll try to address the roads that need to be addressed, including.
How are the roads? I mean, is it a time frame? I mean, when would Tire Farm come up?
Roads are evaluated pretty much every single year. Myself and our town engineer, we go over a program and try to determine what we should do and what we shouldn't do. First of all, you got to prioritize, with traffic impact and all kinds of things like that. Right. So you got to go and do the worst first, literally. Yeah. And that's what we try to accomplish. We have a certain amount of funds that we set aside to do that. Tire Farm Road, I just want to tell you some of my experience. I've been doing this a long time. This is the worst year that I've ever saw highways, and it's all over state, county, town, it don't matter who it is. And if you don't believe me, go on Route 67 from Ballston Spa to Amsterdam. That's a state highway, and you can't go 30 miles an hour on that road, period. So they're being impacted along with us. When these roads were constructed 10, 12, 15 years ago with certain criteria that they had to meet, Now, some of that criteria has changed, and the standards have been made more stricter, okay? And I understand Collier Farm Road very well. The guy that owned that worked with me in the highway department many years ago. There was a boggy area on Collier Farm Road, kind of like through the swamp.
Oh, I know.
So the problem with the frost this winter, I mean, we've got 3.5 to 4 foot of frost. That's all even, and there's a lot of water. So in order to straighten that out down there, it really needs, like you said, to be tore out, under drains put in, new sub base, binder, and top coats.
Right.
It all costs money. So we've got so much to do, and I was talking with the supervisor about it. And our program this year is really, really heavy. It's more than I had last year, which I appreciate. Thank you, town board member. So with that being said, if we have the time towards late September, something to enhance Collier Farm Road, that is my goal, is to make sure that's done also.
And if it's not, we be first on the list for next year?
Oh, definitely.
I mean,
well, not, absolutely. Now, we will do criteria for next year, and what we've always tried to do is subdivision work, okay, and old roads, which are older, you know, that have nothing done. So we try to do a little of them and a little bit of the subdivision work also. Yeah. One thing everybody in this room wants to understand and know, I go to Cornell every year. When I first started going to Cornell, our engineers and people were treating us, you could create a road for 20 years, and it was that was a lifetime, and then don't do anything to them. That criteria has all changed, and I think Ryan would agree with me. There's so many different kinds of impact on our infrastructure now, okay? And you're telling us now that if you get a road that lasts 12 years, you're lucky, very lucky, because of the impact with triaxle trucks and the development and all kinds of stuff like that. So our train of thought would be, we can't go 20 years anymore. We've got to maybe go 15, and that's maxing it out when they're telling us 12. So we've got to change our program, and the board listens very well to that program. So with our train of thought, oh, absolutely, the Collier Farm Road can be certainly done next year. That's not a problem.
You would obviously prefer to be have it done before the winter, of course.
It probably could even, I'm just going to say it might be, and I don't want to promise nothing because I don't control the funds, but what I would say is, you know, if we get through with our building season, like I said, maybe in September, something like that, and we certainly could go in and do Collier Farm Road. The Collier Farm Road has to be reconstructed from Dr. Green's curve, from there at least to the cul-de-sac. And then when you get all done, repave the whole thing, and you'd have a good street.
Right.
But that requires new sub-base, fabric, under drains, and whatever.
I understand.
And it's not cheap. It's
I'm sure
very expensive.
You know,
If somebody falls, it's not going to be cheap either.
yeah, but you know, my point is, it probably wasn't done properly. But maybe it was. So I don't know.
Standards have been changed, okay? And whether it was done right or wrong, our engineer has always done the inspections. So if he's happy with his inspections, and you know, and I do some too, but he does more in-depth because he's the engineer, okay? So I usually go with what the engineer tries to tell me, you know, being the lay person I am with 28 years of experience, but that, you know, he's got the PE after his name, you know, so they're going to believe him before they do me. So, you know, that's how I usually try to do my job.
Yeah, you know, we'll make every effort to, you know, if a lot of things, the weather, you know, last year we got behind by one of the contractors, the paving contractors there, they couldn't come in and grind the roads. There's certain things that may
Oh, no, I understand all that. I just,
hinder, so.
I understand what you're saying about paving a road that drives good versus a road that...
Yeah, exactly. You know?
Yeah.
And my thing, you know, Collier Farm Road is a very, very small part of the town of Wilton, but we have a big voice. We all showed up here tonight, so
No,
you know, we just don't want to be put on the back burner somewhere, and maybe they'll go away. And you know, so you know, keep this on the top of your list if you would. Drive down our street, get out and take a look at it. You can visually look at it and see this thing's not going to last another 6 months, let alone another 3 or 4 years. So keep us on the top of your list. That's all we ask.
We do. We understand your concern, and we'll do the best we can to take care of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is the bid award for the electrical at Gavin Park. Ryan, you want to take us through that?
Okay, looking for the town board to award the bids to the two contractors, the low bid contractors. The electrical contract low bid was McBain Electric of Troy, New York, at a amount of $134,138, and that will be upgrade service to the park with three-phase service to the administrative building, which will provide power for air conditioning units at the gym as well, and additional power supply throughout the park for future demands and needs. The second contract is a mechanical contract for $81,590 in Monaghan and Laughlin, Hudson Falls. That will be for the air conditioning of Gavin's gym. That's the air conditioning unit, air conditioning. So it's mechanical work. So two low bidders. In your package, you have a bid recommendation from the consulting engineer for Associates, and he recommends both of these contractors as well. He feels comfortable with this, and they're both good.
Are you happy with them?
I haven't worked with them personally, but from McBain has worked within the town before, and I've worked some.
Ryan, what's the time frame? We're going to still get this in by summer?
That's the goal. The only thing that we need to work on is National Grid.
Okay.
For their time frame.
I'm going to work with them, so. And we still don't have what their number is.
We don't have the final cost from National Grid, how much it will be to bring in primary power from Beverly to the park. We've been constantly talking to them. So.
But they've been out there and they evaluated, right? And they know that we're trying to get them,
yes,
they need to be scheduled.
I talked to one of their field guys last week. He said he was going to call me right back. He never did. I don't have his contact information. Doesn't figure that out. But I've been calling him a couple times this week.
So you're looking for a resolution to award the two low bids for the electrical and the mechanical, correct?
One contract.
I'll put forth the motion to award the low bid contracts for electrical and mechanical.
Yes, second it.
Motion and a second. Any discussion, questions? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Thank you. Next, Don Needham, who had been on our planning board for some time, decided to move to North Carolina. So he resigned from the planning board last month. We do have two alternates for the planning board. We have a first alternate and a second alternate. Our practice has been that we've been using the alternates kind of as a training to move up into to take a full board spot. The first alternate right now is Dr. David Gabay, and then the second alternate is Brett Hebner. Our past practice has been to move up the first alternate, but so that's where we're at with this.
I make a motion to appoint David Gabay to that seat.
I'll second, okay.
Second. Second by John. Okay, any discussion on that, on the appointment? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Also, in regards to that, we did promise Gerald Zabala that if the vacancy became an alternate for the planning board, he would have the opportunity to switch over to the planning board. He's currently the alternate on the zoning board, so I would like to...
Maybe he's happy at the zoning board.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I just want to give him the option. We
Right.
did tell him that we would do that.
Planning board pay more? If I want to change.
A couple extra zeros.
So right now we have one alternate, and that's Brett Hebner.
Right, and we only have only one alternate for the zoning board too, so there's still an opening on the alternate for the zoning board. And we still have two openings on the ethics board. Anyone interested? Well, we got him one until when he wants it. Okay, next, this easement agreement. I think you all have a copy of it. This is between property owner Frank Perlow and the town of Wilton. This is an easement that's on the back of his property that allows, it's a connection for cross-country skiing, and he allows that easement through the back of his property. The reason, we've had this easement before, but it was with the Nature Conservancy, which we no longer deal with. The Wilton Wildlife Preserve and Park is the entity we deal with. So the agreement is strictly just to change from the Nature Conservancy to the Wilton Wildlife Preserve and Park, that allows them to do the trail grooming for the on that particular easement. So what I'd be looking for is authorization for me to sign the license agreement between the property owner and myself.
Okay.
And the town, I mean.
So I make a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign a license agreement with the town of Wilton with Frank Perillo to allow access to his property from the Wilton Wildlife Preserve and Park.
I'll second that motion.
A motion, a second. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Committee reports. Any?
Our town emergency plan is updated. Larry Gordon's back in the corner. Why don't you stand up, Larry? Or you need some help? Dave, you want to help him? Larry did a great job. He headed it. He's our coordinator. Got a lot of knowledge. The only thing I'd like to do is have a meeting with the two town fire chiefs and the EMS chief, just to brief them on it, because they will probably be the main branches off it. Probably in a couple of weeks, I'll meet with those two guys.
Okay.
All right.
Very good. And Larry, thank you. And I think you've got they've been distributed to everybody that's involved in that plan.
Ryan was on it, and Mark Makins, and they all did a great job, and they put a lot of time into it. Thank you.
Thank you to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jen. Anyone else?
I know the term is thrown around a little bit at one point, but I know we talked to the board of the Wilton Food Pantry, and we are more than happy to be the emergency food supply if something happens.
We got you down.
Yeah.
We got you down.
Okay.
We would never leave you out.
We got you down for making the coffee.
Well, no, we won't have power.
We'll get you generated. You don't worry about that. You gotta have a coffee.
Okay, I wanted to be sure that
Anyone else? I just have a couple announcements. First of all, actually, Michael Coleman brought up about having Robert Freeman come and speak regarding open government foil and all those types of things that some people may be interested in. We have them scheduled for 5:30 on May 1st, which is before our next town board meeting. So Mr. Freeman has graciously agreed to be here and make a presentation and be available for any questions and answers. And the other thing, although it may seem a little bit out, the annual Elks Flag Day Parade is June 14th. I'd like everybody to participate if they could, and just if you could mark your calendars, give me a
Me and
heads
John will be in the fire trucks.
behind us, though.
No, we're gonna be ahead of you this time.
Roger said we're first. Roger said we're first.
Okay.
All right, Jeff, Controller's report.
Okay, the first one is the budget transfers and amendments that require town board approval. Any questions?
I lost it.
Any questions for Jeff? Okay, if not, does someone make a motion to approve the transfers and the budget amendments?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. Discussion by anyone? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Okay, the next one, the town board is authorized the supervisor to enter into a contract with County Waste to perform the 2014 leaf pickup program in $10,000.
Yeah. What this is, County Waste has been doing this service for many, many years at no charge to the town. Like any business, their costs have gone up, and they've asked for, I consider, a minimal subsidy to continue the program to kind of offset some of their costs, but it comes nowhere near what the actual cost to this company is to do this. So I think it's money well spent. Other than snowplowing, it's probably the most second popular service that's provided in the town.
I make a motion to award it to County Waste for $10,000.
Second it.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I had a question regarding that. The leaf pickup program, is that town-wide, every road in the town?
But there's also additional pickups on the outskirts.
Yes, every Wednesday, except for there's some the rural routes where they won't, because there's only not so many people, they do that every third.
Like Parker's Road,
That they do every third Saturday, I believe it is.
And it starts April 23rd.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it begins April 3rd and will end after
23rd.
April 23rd, and it ends November, right after Thanksgiving, or just before Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Okay?
That was fast.
Yeah.
The next has to do with the Wilton Emergency Squad. They have a LOSOP program run by Penflex. It's a program for the volunteers, and every year they have to submit to the town board all the volunteers that qualify for the Penflex program. And I take a sample and I do an audit of those volunteers to make sure that they so qualify for this program. My review is completed. I didn't find any issues. The next step is for the town board to approve my review, and then it goes back to the emergency squad for 30 days. I just need a resolution for the town board to approve it.
Make a resolution.
Motion made by John McCracken. Second? Someone second?
Second.
Right. Second.
What's their age they have to be before they can draw?
You're not dropping it to 60, Chief.
I think you gotta have 20 years.
Right, but there's an age before you can start. What's the amount they get? 20?
20. I think you can go up at 30 now, right?
You have the same program, don't you? Greenfield Fire?
Yeah.
But ours is only 20. But as you'll see, the volunteers are dropping off.
You sure are.
The ambulance
You
club.
sure are.
And so what we spent last year, our cost was $5,000. We used to be getting up to $12,000 when we had no volunteers. Now we don't have the volunteers anymore. So, and actually I spoke with the guy at the conference who runs this program, and he said it's overstate. He said, as you see when the ambulance squad is going more and more paid, we can't get the volunteers anymore. Okay, the next item has to do with disposal of town assets. I put a list attached to the facility report there. Mark Vikings, Scott Harrington, will dispose of these items at auction, which requires the town board approval.
What are the items? It says attached, but I don't see any attached.
In the back.
I see it.
Sounds wrong. I make a motion, we do it.
Second that motion. Get rid of this.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Okay, we have a resolution number 26 that needs to be amended. It's the maximum amount of money that we're allowed to hold in one banking institution. Right now, it's $8 million. I'm requesting to the town board to increase that to $9 million. He said I'm over that limit right now with one of my banks. And after bank, it gives me the best rate.
Have we talked to them about increasing the rate at all lately?
I asked this bank.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, rates are starting to go up. Oh.
No, it's not much money as it is, but we can't come close to the rate that this bank is, we did, I had Jeff
Yeah,
check.
actually the conference I'm at this week, it's all bankers, and I've been asking them, and I said, can you do better than 1.3? I let them know if they had 2 heads. He goes, you're getting 0.3. I said, yeah. He goes, we'll give them 0.05. That's it. He goes, you keep your money where it is.
But on a positive note, we need to increase what we can put in there.
Yeah, well, there is a resolution that states that we're going to hold up to $8 million in one institution, so I need to have the town board amend that resolution and make it 9.
I make a motion, amend it, and increase it.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second.
I almost said, I'll second that emotion.
It's like a song, isn't it?
It is a song.
And don't get up there and start dancing either.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I do have one more item, has to do with William Marshall's contract. Our court security officer, in his contract, it states that he's to provide us with liability coverage. However, because of the cost of it, it's not worth it for him to purchase it. It would cost him more to buy it than what he makes. So Art and I have discussed it along with Nancy. We got a price from our insurance company, and the price for us to add him onto our policy is $1,000. So what I'm asking the town board is to amend the current contract that we have with Bill Marshall to state that the town is willing to pick up the liability coverage.
He carries a weapon over there, and I mean, we need to cover him.
Right. I make a motion, amend it, and change it.
Motion made by Councilman Lamb.
Insurance.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So moved. Under other business, Kirk wants to talk to us about using some equipment reserve funds to purchase a vehicle. Kirk?
Kurt's looking to replace his personal vehicle. Apparently there's some rust issues, parts that have fallen off, and I'm not sure exactly. You want to replace yours, and I believe there's 5 trucks involved. 2 we're getting rid of.
There's 5 trucks involved, getting rid of 5 and going down to 3.
And replacing with 3. But you know more about what you're looking for. I mean, he's looking for an economical SUV. He's looking for a Jeep. I'm not too keen on a Jeep, but I think we'll get a look more into some other options or brands that'll suit his needs. But I'm not sure. You have the list of the trucks you want to replace with you?
The way the budget was set up last year is the town put in, first of all, we budgeted for a medium-duty truck. That's all in there. It's ordered, equipment, and whatever. Then the town board set aside $150,000 and put it in my .2 account. And Jeff, correct me if you're...
No, it goes in the reserve account.
It's in reserve account.
Yeah, it's not in the .2 account.
Yes. And I have to get permission from the board to use any of that money in that reserve account. Do you know what my reserve was from last year?
The equipment reserve account is $153,000.
So the 153 in my reserve plus the 150.
No, that's total.
Pardon me?
That's total. That's what's in the account today.
What did we roll over from last year?
$3,000.
How much?
$3,000.
$3,000. So there's $150,000, whatever it is. We're going to get rid of a 1993 truck, which is 20 years old. We're getting rid of 2 other vehicles. One's a 90 that's up in the field that we used to be in Gavin Park, and the Gavin Park Dodge pickup truck, okay, that, my truck, and truck number 6, which is the 93 tandem truck. So what I wanted to do is, instead of getting another expensive pickup truck, which I don't need, I plow snow when I have to, when a driver's off or whatever, or maybe some parking lots, but for me to run around town and do my job, I just need something to transport a couple of people in for drug testing and stuff like that, and carry some of the tools that I use. And I just didn't want to spend a pile of money to buy another big-time four-wheel drive pickup truck with a plow when, I mean, we've got everything under control and we handle it very well. So the runaround thing just made sense to me, and knowing the cost, the difference, and the fuel consumptions of it all, just made sense for me to do that and something cheap that, you know, that does the job. And there's numerous ones on the market. There's Ridgeline Honda, there's Cherokee Jeep, there's probably a Ford Escape. There's lots of them out there, and it's just picking one that is all-wheel drive, because I need that in the wintertime, okay, and something that will do the job, period. And I'm asking the board to say, should I continue doing what I'm doing, or just leave it alone? But I have to have your permission in order to take the money out of the reserve to do that.
Did you get any prices on them?
Did I get prices? I've got prices on numerous things in my office.
Well, what kind of prices you got?
I've got prices from $25,000 to $53,000. And I don't think that we should spend $45,000, $50,000 on a pickup truck. Everything has gone sky high, and you're in the business, and you know it's...
Yeah, but I know we just bought a brand new Ford for the fire district, crew cab. It's $28,000.
Yeah, state contract.
Pretty cheap. No, it was bid. It was bid.
I don't know.
Pretty cheap.
But I mean, to get a big crew cab for me to run around...
Well, probably an F-150 be less.
It's really too big, you know, it's up to what the board wants to do. It's not for me, it's for the highway department.
The truck, you said you're disposing of three other?
We're going to send truck 6 to the auction. The two vehicles that were highway trucks, they're going to the auction. Truck 5 is going to the auction.
6.
And one of the F-350 Ford pickup trucks, that's the one that's already ordered, that's going to the auction also.
All right, so your plan is for the, whatever you get at auction to offset the cost of this one vehicle?
I can't answer that. It's whatever it bears. Auctions vary as far as...
No, I don't know.
What kind of trucks are these trucks that you're getting rid of? Majority. What kind of trucks are these that you're getting rid of, these vehicles?
Which ones are we getting rid of?
Yeah, the ones that you have listed here, I don't know what kind of cars they are, or trucks they are by the numbers.
2 of them Dodges, one's Ford, 2 of them are Fords.
But they're like plow truck, like pickup trucks with plows or something to that nature? Okay.
All 3 of them are plow trucks.
The pickup truck is a plow truck.
Well, not your truck. Yours is a Dakota.
It's not a plow truck.
So your intent is not to hand yours down to somebody else, it's just to auction out? Well, we said that was in mechanical problems anyway, wasn't it? Or?
Big time mechanical problems. I got the radiator support for the truck that I'm driving now laying on my desk in my office. It just fell off, so. And, I mean, it's just, everybody knows what Gavin Park's trucks are. They've had it. I mean, the one won't even pass inspection without $4,000 or $5,000, $6,000 worth of work. And it's an old truck that was handed down from the building department to Gavin Park. The other one is another truck that we got from Matt in 2003 after our fire. That's a 1990. And the tandem truck is a 1993. That's 20 years ago. And the cab's falling off that. It's rust. It's our nature of business.
What do you think? Thoughts?
See, I just think it makes more sense to get a truck with a plow on it. In a couple of years, when your foreman's trucks wear out, pass it down, get another new one. That's my feelings.
John, you highway liaison, what do you think?
I mean, I understand what John's saying, and it makes sense. To me, it makes sense to you know, I mean, we have, 3 foremans, I believe, in the town, and if you run it for 2 years and pass it down to the next foreman in line, and they move their truck down, and then auction off the fourth, the last one on the list. I mean, I understand it's a little bigger than what you need, but it makes more sense and it's more practical. I mean, other than the fact you're going to be putting more gas in a crew cab four-wheel drive pickup as opposed to maybe a Jeep Cherokee or something. But it makes sense to me to pass them down. I don't know what you would do with an SUV after you're done with it, other than drive it for 7 years and then it's, it's pretty much worthless.
Well, we've got an old truck over next door that we do run around for parts with and whatever, so there's numerous ways to do what you're talking about. If you're going to pass it down, and run it till it won't run no more, and I agree with that theory. That's what we've been doing in the past. But to add another a four-wheel drive cab pickup truck with a plow for the superintendent to go do his job, to me, is not being conservative. That's just how I feel.
Well, no, when we look at the numbers you just mentioned, 25,000 on the low side for an SUV, just a bang-around truck. He's saying we just bought one not under state contract, a four-wheel drive F-350.
Does it have a plow?
No, without a plow, but...
You buy the plow system for that club cab, you're looking at another minimum probably $4,500 to $5,000. So now you got $31,000 in a club cab truck, and I don't know how many of you guys plow snow. Do you want to try plowing snow with a club cab pickup truck? The plow doesn't clean because the back wheels are running into snowbank all. It's too long, way too long. It's up to the board. I'm not here for animosity at all. If the board wants to do it, fine. That's okay too.
I was just thinking maybe you guys should sit down and talk and go over this a little more.
Get some numbers.
Yeah, we get the numbers
and figure out if Kurt's way is the better way, then that's it. If this turns out to be...
Yeah, I was going to suggest the same thing.
Put it on hold until next
Put the different options together and the prices for each option, and then...
This isn't something you need tonight.
No. I'm just...
He's got a brand new Dodge in his driveway, he don't need it tonight. He could drive with your Cadillacs in.
Did you look on the way up to see what else is in the yard?
So, Kirk, why don't you, you've heard the remarks here, and get, the prices on the different...
All I want the board to know is we created a program for roads, we created a program for equipment. You asked for it, I gave it to you. At some point in time, we have to make sure that we start following that program. And if we don't...
I think we have been the last couple of years, Kurt.
And when we spoke, I was under the impression it was $150,000 in the truck account and then $150,000 in a reserve account. An equipment reserve, I was under the impression it was two separate accounts, but from what you're saying, it's
There's only one account.
153, period. And I don't know if you got enough, I don't know what a tandem truck costs. You would know, and we'll get together and get them figures down, and we'll make something happen.
Well, the tandems, that's already been ordered, right? The tandem, that's already... Yeah. The tandem...
No, the medium one's done.
Oh, the medium one, okay.
Right, he's talking a tandem, a big truck, to replace truck number 6.
All right, well, let's get the different options and numbers together, and then we'll take a look at it and take it from there, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, I mean, that includes the agenda. I hate to impose on you, but I do need a very short executive session and continuation of our personnel matters.
Can I make an announcement?
Take a break.
Okay. This coming Saturday at the entrance to Healthy Living at the mall, officials from town government, including myself and Mr. Stryker, I think Mr. Coleman, and I'm not sure who else on the board, will be there from 10 a.m. until 2:30 p.m., answering questions, taking complaints from the town residents, compliments, whatever. and that's the Saturday the 5th. And pass that on to all your neighbors. And I'm wondering if we can possibly entertain the thought of sponsoring the Wilton Pantry fundraiser at all.
That's a controller issue.
It's a controller issue.
Nothing in the budget, what are you talking about doing?
But you taking a few hundred out of your pocket.
There you go.
That's what we're talking about.
So that's something that has to be budgeted for?
Yes.
I mean, you can always amend the budget, but we've always,
Normally you have a contract for services, and they do provide a service to our residents, okay? And so that's how, Mark, correct me if I'm wrong.
So far, you're right.
Yeah, they have to be providing some type of service to our residents, and we should have it in writing in a contract form. And if the town wants to, enter into a contract of services for $1,000 for the food pantry to provide food for the needy in the town of Wilton, and that's the way the town will make the donation.
Okay, thank you.
Right?
That's the idea.
do you want to do that, Julie?
Well, I think we should make that motion.
I think
Get that for next year.
Because I brought it up. You make the motion.
I'll make a motion. We put that in the budget for next year.
Well, next year would be...
You want it now.
Budget time.
We could amend this budget.
Amend this budget.
I'll make a motion to amend this budget.
I second that.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion?
What numbers are people talking?
Yeah, no.
1,000.
No,
You said 1,000.
I don't know.
She didn't say
1,000
anything?
is sponsorship.
Oh, someone said 1,000.
1,000, there's 500.
What is it, Connie?
There's 1,000 for...
We'd be happy with 1,000.
We'd be happy with...
This would be for the empty bowls thing, right?
My thing would be is for everybody on this board to give $100.
I already gave,
No, I'm saying in a group.
I already gave 5, so let's everybody get 5.
But I'm just saying, I don't know. We represent everybody here, I guess.
No, they do provide a good service to the town. I don't.
They do a great job.
It's totally however you would like to do it. Just some facts, we are up to 251 families in the family served. And last year, we distributed 25,040 meals.
That's wonderful.
They do a good job.
They sure do.
We have a motion and a second to amend the budget for 1,000, to be a sponsor for the empty bowls. Okay, so we'll take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Jeff?
Can we wrap up budget transfer in this resolution?
As part of the resolution. And also, you're going to have to authorize me to sign the contract, too.
Yes, I'll have to work with Mark to put together a contract with salaries, but the money can come out of contingency, I got to look up the account.
Look up the account and
Have it back.
so we're getting a motion for that budget transfer?
Budget transfer and me to sign the contract.
Make sure you put in minutes. Steve wanted to give 100 too.
I'll be there and I'll give 100. I'm just saying, I think.
These come from the
Yeah.
and so far, everyone up there last year, which was excellent, just to see how it works.
And I didn't even get a bowl.
You didn't.
Because they were sold out.
They were sold out.
Okay. Okay, thank you, everyone. Our agenda is concluded. We're going to have a very short, I promise short, executive session.